Hey, Jared here. Today I started filming a project that I'm going to make for my front yard for this Halloween, and then eventually I'll use it at my haunted house as a scare zone piece that I'll be able to take in and out of my haunt. So what I'm making is a mobile scene on top of a pallet-like structure. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have some, I'm going to have a pallet, and then I'm going to surround that pallet on three sides with some fence. The back fence is going to have a 6-foot tall dog-eared fence, and I'm going to line it with corn stalks this fall, real corn stalks. And the same thing on the sides. They're going to be smaller type fence structures, but they're also going to have corn stalks in them. And I'm going to have a a pumpkin man / pumpkin type scarecrow thing hovering, in the middle of the platform, hovering over some crates that I'm going to decorate with some fall type harvesty stuff like, jack-o'-lanterns. I don't know if I'll have anything other than jack-o'-lanterns, crates, and, just sort of a real harvest type fallish scene is what this particular mobile display is going to be. And I'm going to have a fogger on it and lights, and I'm going to go through that whole process. So I wanted to kind of give a description of what it is that I'm building. This project's going to be done over several videos. I have to order some stuff, and when that comes in I'll be able to work on it and make additional videos. So this first video doesn't really show a whole lot. It's just the basic structure, the bare bones of the project, no detail. But over the course of the next few videos, you'll see it start to come together. So look for those. All right, enjoy. First thing I'm going to do today is build the platform that I'm going to put my scene on. So the first step of that platform is going to be to take these 2x8 pressure treated boards that I tore out of my deck, and I'm going to trim them down to 2x4 size. First thing I'm going to do is run them through that table saw, which I've pre-set up for a 3.5-inch cut, and I think that's going to give me about 8 2x4 to work with. I ran 3 of them through my table saw, so it gives me 6 2x4s pressure treated. I think that's going to be good enough. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut 2 of them at 4 foot, because I'm going to make this pallet platform 3 foot by 4 foot. And I'm going to take these and I'm going to use them for the top and bottom boards of the platform. I'm going to go ahead and start just nailing this together. Kind of a thick pallet. It would have been better if I just had a pallet laying around, but I didn't. Yo, platform done. Time to move on to the fence. I have the back wall put together, and now I'm going to take these dog-eared fence planks and screw them along the inside of this wall. And that's probably about as far as I'm going to get today on the platform, because it looks like it's going to start raining any minute. So after I get this done, I'll go inside and I'll actually start on the pumpkin scarecrow man. I got to this point just in time, because it's going to start storming here in just a few minutes. So I've got 2 walls done, a side wall and the back wall. And I didn't do the third wall because I think I wanted to see what it looked like this first, because I was contemplating either doing another short wall like this here, or doing another longer wall here in the corner to provide just a little bit more coverage for an actor. And looking at it, I've decided that I'm going to go ahead and build a taller wall. One other thing I did here is I built it recessed with a board here, because And then I can just slip corn stalks back there, and this will hold them in place. And the same thing here. I built it with a slot to stick the corn in, and that's going to be very useful. Another thing I might do after looking at it is I may actually take a piece of plywood and cover the top of it, just for some stability for the stuff that I'm going to stick on top of it, so it's not falling through cracks. I'm going to eventually stain these dog-eared fence planks, but I'm going to let them dry out the rest of the summer first. Cool thing with this old deck wood that I used is it's already weathered and nasty looking, so I won't have to worry about paint or staining that, but I'm going to do something about those. I'm going to get inside because it's going to start raining, and somebody over there's mowing their lawn. I don't think they're going to make it before it starts dumping water on them. Well, the weather's forced me underground, so I'm going to make the best of it. Oh, got a cat in the way. Well, I'm about to start on my PVC pipe pumpkin scarecrow man. But before I do, I also wanted to show these things. Look out, cat. Because I'm going to be making up a bunch of these to decorate that platform with. Get this cat out of the way real quick. Yeah, she is not happy that I moved her. A couple things about PVC pipe. If you've never used PVC pipe to make any haunt-related stuff, number one, you should. It's great. I've been using it for years, making, dummy armatures. I've seen people make fence out of it, like cool metal-looking fence out of PVC pipe. The second thing about PVC, if you have used it a lot, then you probably already know about these. I've been using these for years, and these are fantastic. They're ratcheting PVC pipe cutters. They're not very expensive, and if you're going to do any kind of PVC pipe work, I highly, highly recommend you pick this thing up. The other thing I got here is a little heat gun, and this is going to be the head of my pumpkin man. But we're not going to just put him on like that. I've got some cool thing I'm going to do to that. It's just an old pumpkin. I think I can't even remember where I got it because it's not a Funkin. It's like a off-brand. I think I got it much, much cheaper than a normal Funkin. I've got a basic armature that I like for this pumpkin scarecrow. I also made a little stand to stick him in while I'm working, and then I'll actually use this on my platform. I'll just screw that right to the platform. So one thing I had to do to sort of get this design was I needed to take it outside and heat it up with the heat gun and bend it right there. And then I kind of bent the spine a little bit so we would have a little bit more upright look. And I want the arms kind of up and out, like it's hovering above everybody. So I'll actually, once I get it all glued down, to take it outside to start forming the body, I'm actually going to have to heat up these shoulders and slightly bow them out a little bit, and that'll give it more of a wide spread instead of, right now it just looks like two 90-degree angles just upright, just real stiff. So that'll give it a little bit more character. Here's a quick side angle shot of it. Shows you the curvature a little bit more. For this, all I need is the upper body. I can glue that and take care of this tonight. I got it where I want it, so what I did is I just took a pencil and made lines to mark where these little joints will go. Because I'm going to take them off, prime them, and glue them real quick. I do use the primer. Oh shoot, I got it all over. Stuff is very messy. She's gonna do joints. Yeah, I never use a ton because I mean, you probably don't even really need the primer, but I always put it on just in case. I didn't mark that one, but I'm not worried. That won't come back to haunt me. I'm sure it'll be just fine. easiest thing to do is the flat pieces first. So I'll just put a little bit of PVC cement on there. Okay, it's a little bit more than a little. It's okay. Go in here. Line that up. You got a few seconds to mess with it, but I'm gonna tell you right now, man, you screw it up, it is a pain in the butt to get off. Fix. So you gotta be pretty quick. D. Yeah, definitely. Definitely take the time to mark it. We're sticking in there and hope for the best. I'm sure it'll be just fine. Oh. And then this guy. I'm just hoping for the best on this. Ugh. Let that dry for just a second. This camera doesn't do the best job of picking this up, and this light doesn't help either. So I just went ahead and did the next step, which was I took a piece of cardboard and I sort of cut out a rough body shape and taped it to the PVC. Because what I'm going to do now is take great stuff and I'm going to give the body depth. Okay, so I'll say this as a disclaimer: if you've never used great stuff before, when you do decide to use it, because there's a lot of cool stuff you can do with it, please do yourself a favor and use both some gloves, something to cover your hands, and some eye protection, because if you don't, you will regret it, because this stuff is nasty. Man, you want to shake this can up for like, I don't know, like a minute or so. I shook it up off camera. So I'm trying to give this guy, flush him out a little bit. Now that little bit of tape is enough to sort of hold this cardboard in place while I foam it over. Now this stuff does expand, so you know, don't go crazy with it until you see how much it expands. But I like to get it in the pipe and then over the pipe, and then it just all sticks together, or at least it always has for me, doing it this way. Like I said, I keep it away from the edge a little bit because it will expand. Hopefully I can get some on the back side too. I don't like just flat backing it. I like to get a little bit of dimension on there, but I may have to do that with a different can. Now, I'm not going to go crazy filling this thing in, but I'm going to do, like, you know, where the chest area would be. I'll put an extra layer there. Right here. This isn't going to show up right now, but... and then I'll leave the sides kind of, you know, tapered. Now, the coolest thing with this stuff is you can actually go back later with, you know, sandpaper or whatever and sculpt it a little bit. I just need some, you know, some basic thickness here, because what I'm going to do next is going to look really cool on this. I'm going to be pretty basic with it. Just give it a little bit of thickness just so it's not flat cardboard. So this should dry and expand. I got this guy all propped up. I'm going to let him dry overnight, and then I'm going to work on him some more tomorrow. So, not too bad for the first day. You know, I got quite a bit done. You know, none of it looks like much now, but I mean, that's just how it goes. It'll look a lot better, you know, as I start finishing up, adding detail, and then, you know, fleshing it out with some of the other props and stuff that I'm going to make for it. So, you know, stay tuned, subscribe. I'm not a master craftsman, or I'm not saying I make, you know, do that great a job on these props or anything, but hey, hopefully it gives you an idea of something to do, you know, and if you do something, I'd love to see it. So I will talk to you later. Take care.